See, this is how I configure a workspace. Anyway, you have the ability to choose it from inside the Eclipse. Let us configure it right away before starting the Eclipse itself. Once I give this directory, make sure you can click on OK and then go ahead with Eclipse configuration, but make sure that Java workspace is created inside Eclipse folder. Now I am going to say OK. You can always choose this, select this checkbox so that the workspace launcher you will never see it again. Clicking on OK. So Eclipse home page is displayed. Eclipse home page is displayed here. I'm going to click on Workbench. Workbench is where we work on our code. It is basically a perspective or a representation of our project, our code and our resources. If I dive into Workbench, you will see a window like this. Let me maximize the Eclipse. Okay, this is what I get. Remember, you should click on Workbench, the icon which I clicked on it. Once you click on it, you will never see it again. Okay, now this is the Package Explorer. In the left panel, in the middle one, there is a gray area where you see your code. Okay, task list and outline, we do not need it. We do not use it. Okay, the bottom window, problems, Java doc declaration, and console and logs will be displayed right here. Okay, now I am going to create a project right now for a first development project. Okay, click on File, New, and say Java project. Project name. Okay, let me do one thing. Before getting into Eclipse, there is one more important thing which we need to understand. I'll just type everything here. Install Java, install Eclipse. Okay, the next thing will be install TestNG. One second. Hold on a second. Okay, install TestNG. You may ask, what is TestNG? TestNG is a framework which can be utilized to execute our test cases. Okay, it is a framework, a unit testing framework as the developers call it. You need to install it in Eclipse, okay, so that we can execute our Selenium scripts. Now I'm getting back to my Java Eclipse. The third step is install TestNG. Open Google and type install TestNG. Okay, the first link which you see, testng.org/doc/download.html, is from where you can download your TestNG. I just navigated to that web page. Okay, now there are two things. For Eclipse 3.4 and above, you should use this URL. For Eclipse 3.3 and below, you should use this URL. What we are trying now is installing the TestNG plugin into Eclipse. Okay, install TestNG plugin in Eclipse. Okay, without plugin we will not be able to execute our test cases. Okay, so the plugin can be installed by one of these URLs by making note of your Eclipse version. I am going back to my Eclipse to see what is my Eclipse version. It says, I'm sorry, one second. Eclipse platform. Here it says 3.7, which means my IDE which I have installed is about 3.7, is about 3.4. So I can always go with the URL, the first URL. You don't have to care about it. You can always choose about 3.4 because as you are going to download a newer Eclipse, you can always go with the first URL. But if you are trying to utilize your old Eclipse which you are already using for any other thing, you should look into these things. So I'm copying this URL. I'm going back to the Java Eclipse. Click on help. Okay, install new software. Okay, paste the URL in this area. Paste the copied URL in this area and say add. Okay, the moment you click on add, it will say add to repository. I'll name it as testng plugin. Okay, I just copied the URL to this available software work with drop down and clicked on add, which means adding this particular repository to my Eclipse. Okay, what happened with open source development is that we will not get any installation files for everything. They will have their own repository. From there we can fetch our downloads. That is what we are doing now. We are trying to connect with TestNG repository, which is a framework used for, TestNG is a framework used for unit testing, and we are going to fetch the TestNG's repository by accessing this location, beust.com/eclipse. Okay, I am saying OK right here. The moment I say OK, you are getting an entry right here. Okay, follow me closely because all these steps will be a little complex. Although I'm recording this webinar, I want you to take notes for yourself, because once you did not practice the moment after this session or by today, forgetting this is highly possible. So I strongly advise you to take notes. Now, as I have added this repository, you are seeing these two entries. This is the TestNG plugin which we need to install in Eclipse. Okay, choose this one, choose this item and say next. Okay, this thing got displayed once we tried to fetch the TestNG repository. It gets us the newer version, the current version which is available for us in the repository. Click on next. So it will start installing the TestNG for our Eclipse. Okay. It will take a while depending on your network band. Let us see. Okay, so install details is this one. It is able to calculate all the dependencies and it says that this is the only plugin you need to install. I'll click on next. I accept the license agreement and then say finish. So installation is started. Installation of TestNG plugin is started right now. It will go on installing, and the positive thing about this is that it will resolve the dependencies. I mean, if any of you have tried to install a software with dependencies in Linux or Unix environments, you would have known this. Dependencies are something which are prerequisites to what we are going to install. So it may take a while, I think. So if you have any questions, you may ask. So testng is being installed right now. Any questions? I strongly advise you to ask questions. So far clear. Good. Yes, the session is being recorded and I will, once this is done, I'll send it to the concerned person. You may have to refer with that person. It's being recorded. Okay. So here I'm getting one more warning also. It says that you are installing a software that contains unsigned content. I do not care about that because I know this is what I require. So I'm going ahead with clicking on OK. Did it. So the software installation is done. Okay. A restart for the Eclipse is needed. Click on restart now. Click on restart now. So that the Eclipse gets restarted. Okay. Now, once we install TestNG, new project. I'll say Java project. The project will be my first Selenium project. Okay. Java SE 1.6. Okay. I'm leaving the default selections as it is. Next. Okay. Finish. So my project is now created. I'll be able to start coding right now, which means try to execute my created scripts in IDE using Eclipse environment. Before that, there are more things to do. Before I get my script to this Eclipse environment, I should have some jar files in place. Okay, Selenium client drivers, okay, and then TestNG, let me say 6.8 jar, and then Selenium server standalone. This one we already have, but these two things needs to be downloaded. Okay, these two things needs to be downloaded. You may ask, what are these files? Okay, these are libraries which can be used, which needs to be used in our Selenium automation development. Okay, Selenium remote control automation development. Now let us go to our directory, Selenium directory, Java workspace. Okay, I'm just navigating to my Eclipse directory, and here I'm having the Java workspace. Inside that we see that our project has been created. Okay, this is how a project is created in Eclipse. Now about the jar files. We already have one in place. Selenium server standalone is already there, but we need two more things. One is TestNG and the other one is client drivers. Client drivers can be downloaded from seleniumhq.org. Okay, you may ask, what is a client driver? Okay, a client driver is something which we need to use based on our programming language. Okay, I'm going to code. Okay, whatever we are going to develop as an automation testing framework, we are going to use Java as our programming language. Okay, so there should be an intermediate component between the Selenium RC and application under test. Okay, that is going to be this client driver. I'll show you a diagrammatic representation tomorrow. As we don't have time, we will just see how to download this. Okay, Selenium client driver for Java should be downloaded. I'm just clicking on download. It is about 22 MB. Let me cancel this because it will impact my network bandwidth. Okay, I'll do it after this class. Okay, you need to download this. Make sure that you download these things and have the Eclipse environment ready before the class tomorrow. Okay, because this involves multiple steps. Okay, and verifying that you have understood everything clearly, you should do it once for yourself. Now, the Selenium client driver for Java can be downloaded from here. Now, with respect to TestNG, we know how to have these two things: Selenium server standalone and Selenium client drivers. Okay. Now, what about the third one? TestNG should be installed now. Now, let me get into Eclipse directory and plugins. Okay. I am trying to find if this TestNG plugin which we installed in Eclipse has a jar file or not. Okay, if it has a jar file, we can use it. Okay, I don't think it has it. No problem, we can download it. Okay, I think we have reached the end of the session. Please ask any questions if you have, because downloading the TestNG and configuring it will take more time. Let us have it tomorrow. So, any questions? So, how about the learning today? Was it too complex or was it understandable? Based on your answers only, I can restructure. Good. Good. Complex. Okay. So today you have learned new things, right? Yes, it will get difficult tomorrow also. That is I'm keeping that in mind. I'm saying that to do these things by yourself by today itself. Okay, it is very important and crucial for you to download Eclipse and install TestNG plugin by today itself. Okay, I hope you have taken notes. Do it by today, because tomorrow it will be difficult, a little bit difficult. Okay, more than this. Okay, good. Thanks for your response, guys. Thank you. We'll see you tomorrow. Okay. I'll try to juice it up tomorrow to make the learning more easy than today. I'll work on that. Sure. Thank you. Have a nice day. Bye.